Today, we're going to be tying a fly pattern that perhaps is even better than the woolly bugger. To start, we'll secure our thread in place and snip the excess free. With this complete, we'll cover up our tag ends and begin wrapping towards the bend of our hook. We'll then grab some marabou. Here I'm using the color ginger, securing it tightly in place to the back of our fly. And taking a few thread wraps behind it can help prop up your tail. We'll then fold it over, bringing our thread forward before pulling our feather back over and securing it at the head of the fly. This will help build up our body and reduce the waste of dubbing. Snip your excess free and cover up the tag ends. Once complete, we'll grab some crystal flash, here I'm using gold, and secure about 4 strands to the back of our fly, before folding it over and securing it to the other side. We'll trim these to length, being a bit longer than our tail, before bringing our thread forward and grabbing some wire. Here I'm using brassy in the color amber. Insert the wire into your bead, helping to further secure it in place before wrapping back towards our tail. With this complete, we'll grab some dubbing. Here I've decided to use a mix of hare's ear as well as some ice dubbing. Mix them together and create a dubbing noodle. We'll begin wrapping this forward in close touching spirals, building up a slight transition as we work towards the head of the fly. And you can always continue to add or tighten the dubbing as needed. With this complete, we'll grab our wire and begin to counter wrap the dubbing, this time in open spirals, helping to add some shine and durability to our body, doing so until we reach our thread. At which point, we'll secure it tightly in place, taking thread wraps both in front as well as behind our wire, before helicoptering your excess free. And of course, brush it out to give it that nice, buggy look. Next, we'll grab some rubber legs. Here I'm using molted in the color tan. We'll secure 2 strands in a V formation on the top side of our fly. This way, they'll stick out in opposite directions. With this complete, we'll snip the excess free and grab a mallard or a wood duck flank. Here I'm actually using a mallard flank, dyed in the color wood duck. Trim it into a V formation and secure it to the head of your fly. Before grabbing your feather, pulling the fibers backwards and hackling it forward until we reach our thread. Using an oversized hackle won't look as good, however, it'll provide more movement in the water. Once we reach the head of the fly, we'll secure the stem in place and snip your excess free. Brush out the fibers so they separate, pull them backwards, and taking a few wraps on top, leaving a bit of our collar for our next step and helping to give them that brush back look. With this complete, we'll grab a bit more dubbing, create a dubbing noodle to help push back our fibers and create a bit of a collar. Pull everything backwards so we don't trap any fibers. And of course, brush everything out to help blend it together and give it that nice, buggy look. Whip finish to hold it all together. And snip your excess free. And this is a mini jigged bugger that I like to use for brook trout. And this one in particular, because of its color, I actually use as a crayfish imitation. However, swapping out the colors can make it a great minnow imitation or even larger insects. It'll have excellent profile when jigged or in the current. However, whenever you slow it down, all these fibers open up and create an incredible action. It's not necessarily a replacement for a woolly bugger. However, it's a great addition to your fly box. And if you'd like to win this one, comment #flies in the comments below. So thank you for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.